morning, afternoon, and evening to everybody. Hey, let's see, get this going right. Perfect. We'll just wait for a couple of people to come in. We're talking about the new you. New Year's Eve, everybody makes these resolutions, and why most of them don't stick. All right, maybe I'll take my glasses off for this. Oh, there we go. I'm going to bring it up on my screen too so that I could see, just in case you guys start asking the right questions at the right time. And we'll go from there, right? So, on that, there we go. So, here we are, and it's New Year's Eve, and everybody's making these resolutions, and you're all trying to make a better you and a better thing. And it's a good thing. Of course it's a good thing. Everybody wants to better themselves this time of year. It's programmed into your head that you're supposed to. But how do you change your program? That's it, right? So, addiction. Many people don't think of this as the main reason is why they can't change, or not that they can't change, because everybody can change. But addiction's a big thing here, and most people don't think of addiction in the sense other than drugs. And yes, Naughty Norm is back, Amanda. Now, drugs confuse the whole entire situation. Now, nobody becomes an addict because they're addicted to drugs, okay? They're addicted to the dopamine. Now, when you're a child and your parent, hi Zoe, you bond with your child because imprinting happens. And during this time of imprinting, the synapses in your brain are built for you to moderate the dopamine throughout life through the feelings that we receive, so that when I'm around you and you're around me, we can feel each other's pain. And this is a survival mechanism within society. Now, less and less of this is happening, hey Sarah Newton, due to the fact that divorce, other things like that, breaking up the family unit, with the lack of empathy being able to be taught during these early stages, creating an imbalance in our ability to moderate dopamine throughout life. Meaning some of us become addicted to relationships because the moment that we're in that relationship, boom, dopamine is flying off and we are feeling on top of the frickin' world. But then it levels out, and this addiction, this craving that some of those people that are addicted to relationships then go into the circle, what I call the hamster wheel, and break it because the synapses aren't built to do that. Now, you could rebuild new synapses, but you really got to look at this and think about it clearly, like tying your shoelace. Now, if anybody here at this moment wants to give it a shot, tie your shoelace the opposite way. Now, you could do the one bunny ear around and tie through, or two bunny ears and tie. Now, if you try to tie your shoelaces the other way, you have to think about it every single time you do it until the moment occurs where the synapses are built, where you do it uncognitively without thought. Okay? Now, this is what you're supposed to do as a child when you imprint to your parent, and during divorce or during anything that could happen at a young age. Now, in Canada, we've got a stat out here that 95% of addicts, and we're just going to go with drug addicts here, have had a bad situation at home from the beginning. So during this process that they're supposed to build, then they go off into the world and they hit a drug or some sort of thing. Now, some people are addicted to power. So one of the main reasons why your government won't do anything to fix anything, because you're asking the people that are addicted to power to give up power. That ain't happening. So in making a better you, the words are how you reprogram your brain, okay? Those are the words that bring you back when you say, oh, I can't do that. I won't do that. I'm down on my luck all the time. This is crap. You know, your brain will direct you through those synapses to stop you from creating the new you, because the humans love the path of least resistance. And building new synapses, well, that takes time, effort, and brain power. Let's get real. What's up, John? And if you do not have the people around you during that time, then it is very difficult to reprogram those synapses or build new synapses, because the people around you are using the same wording that you use. Because we find people in life that'll help us keep these addictions. You know, misery loves company. Why? Because all those people sitting in the room are all crying about the same thing, validating why you should be there crying at that moment. Okay? And it's all innocent, because children are innocent, and this dopamine problem, the craving for that, kick, that should have been dealt with as a child. Now, the new you, right? New Year's Eve comes along, and you're like, it's something like, for me, smoking cigarettes. Now, that's a bad habit, but it was tied to my father. So after my father had passed away, the effort of trying to quit never happened, due to the fact that it gave me a feeling outside of the actual product. But my brain was doing that, not the product. Do you understand? I hope you do. And I know this is boring and way out there, and if you're not ready for this, you're definitely not going to listen to it. But if you want to save it and come back to it and talk about it, or you have something to add to it, feel free to add to this conversation, okay? Now, linguistic therapy is using words to reprogram your brain, but that doesn't quite work unless, like I said, everybody is on board. You try quitting cigarettes, and you sit next to the person smoking a cigarette, and the first thing they do is go, even though they know you want to quit cigarettes, they go, hey, you want to smoke? You want a fag? Think about that. Because they don't want to think about what they're doing, and you are creating a situation where their brain is fizzling. So in that moment, their brain has to react to the addiction, because they want that feeling and they're not ready to deal with it yet. So they will feed your brain information to help their brain stay there. Now, you can't change anything. And this is the reason, major reason why motivational speakers, why I will change your life doesn't fucking happen. Why doesn't it happen? Because nobody can guarantee you a motivational course that will change you. That has to come from within. Do you understand that? That has to come from within. And any great man in history, from Jesus, Allah, Buddha, whoever, every religion, denomination, everything out there will tell you to one thing: that when you go quiet, think about that. Your life is busy all the time. From your phone, to your job, to everything, where the white noise is just all the time, which makes it difficult for you to concentrate on building new synapses. All right? Why Buddha meditated. Why Jesus lived a simple life. Because the busier it gets, the harder it is to concentrate. Okay? Now, not for all of us, ADHD, we thrive on that gosh darn busyness. Because neurodiversity says all our brains are different. But the way we can program and the tools we use are all the same. Okay? Reason why motivational speakers don't sell you the cure, they sell you, we will teach you how to help people. Because by helping people, in turn, you keep re-saying the same things over and over and over until finally you decide that you want to do that. Now, remember, you tell yourself the story that you want to live by. Think about that. You tell yourself that. You are the freaking narrator in this movie box, okay? And that's the projector showing you your movie. Now, you narrate that. You are the person that tells yourself, I couldn't do it, or backs up the situation at hand. Do you understand that? Now, let's talk about a little bit of addiction too here in a different sense. I meet somebody, or you meet somebody. You fall in love. Everything there that you fell in love with gives you a dopamine kick. Right? This feeling of love because you love this person. Now years go by, mundane happiness. Now all those same things that you used to love about that person, you retrain yourself to hate that person for it so that you can walk away. Now, that's building new synapses so that every time you look at that person, your brain goes, ugh. Think about it. You do it in life automatically without thinking because you want the fuck out of there. That's it. You don't want to be in that relationship anymore. Something about it bothers you. But it wasn't the things that got you there that bothered you. Those things are the things that keep you there. That's why during that process, 6 months to a year, you build those synapses so that every time that name is mentioned, every time that face is brought up, you get a sick feeling to the point where you walk away from that person. But in doing that, you create an addiction that'll last 10 to 15 years later, where every time you enter your ex's life, every time you go near that person, every time you have to deal with that person, that feeling that allowed you to leave stays. That feeling becomes addictive. Every time you deal with that person, it's the same feeling. Now try to change that because they're not in your life no more. They have no effect on you. Yeah, they have effect on your kid's life, but that hate gets passed down. Doesn't allow your children to build those synapses for them to be able to moderate dopamine. And then they grow up into the same cycle. And, you know, in a world where most people are divorced, at least in the Commonwealth countries, we have a high narcissist problem. Right? And they do belong in this world. I'm telling you that right now. Okay? They are your children. They are innocent children that grew up under bad circumstances that are now adults being persecuted for the fact that they are the way they are because their parents did not understand what was going on. It's that simple. And throughout society, you could see this too on a heavy-duty thing of because society is now showing behaviors of addiction. Now, you may not feel addicted, but any addict will tell you that. Anybody you approach about their addiction will always... Now, have you ever tried to talk to a guy about feelings? Most men weren't taught that they were supposed to deal with feelings. So they act like a freaking full-out drug addict when you approach them about their feelings. No. Get away from me. Okay? So, you made a New Year's resolution, and you need to stick to it. That's it. Straight goods. You want that, or you would have never made it. Now, it's going to be difficult. It's going to be hard. You're going to have to reprogram this, but it's worth it. Why is it worth it? Because I'm talking to a bunch of parents right now, okay? Every one of you that's watching this has children. Every one of you watching this is responsible for your child's synapses that they build within their brain so that they can deal with feelings later on in life, moderate the dopamine so that they don't become addicted to one of the 5 feelings. That's it. And if they do, make it love. Make that love so freaking boom out of your chest that it is absolutely freaking retarded. For your neighbors, for your, the teacher down the road that just gave you attitude. Hug them. Watch what that does for your children. Watch what that does to everybody around you. That guy who's pissed off at you every day that you just got a coffee for. Don't wait for something. Don't wait for a response. Don't wait for any of that. All right? Be you. Find what you want and build it. And know that every goddamn problem that every one of us deal with spawns from our home. Spawns from the early days of our life when we first started. Now, you may not think it, and most people think they have a perfect life when they were a kid, but something might have happened. 95% of drug addicts, think about that, all had shitty upbringings. Now we have a major anxiety problem in the world. Anxiety going through the fucking roof. through society. Think about it. How can so many people be so off the frickin' wall all at once? Well, in sociology, you go back to the beginning, 2 generations ago, we didn't have we did have addicted behaviors, masculinity. I'm stronger than everybody, I'm He-Man. Okay? There are still things there too. Throughout time, this has always been the issue. But because we're all bonding together and we're coming, we have answers. And the answers have always frickin' been there, from the oldest Bibles to the motivational books today. Calm yourself. Silence. Find the people in your life that will benefit those synapses, that will say, keep strong. Every frickin' day of your life. Now, don't go, if you find yourself going towards bad relationships, go back in your brain. Think about this. Why is it that it isn't the guy? Let me tell you, if you keep having bad relationships, you keep looking for that guy. I'm freaking telling you right now, just like you keep looking for that girl. I've dated more religious girls than I know what to talk about, and it took me a long time to realize that I had assumed that I was bad and they would save me. That was wrong, Absolutely out the frickin' bonkers wrong. Now, it took me a good 10 years to become the person I am now. The moment that norm average popped into my brain, the moment I started writing my rules, the moment I started walking forward for my kids. And it happened after a divorce. I needed a way not to hate her. So I wrote the rule, accept people for who they are, not for who you want them to be. I started teaching my kids that. At first, it was hard, let me tell you. It was the hardest freaking thing when people did stuff, but it was all out of my control. I had no control out of that. That was the biggest part. I needed to understand that there are some things in life you have no control over. And that is everybody else other than you. You have total control over yourself. You can reprogram this. You can be anything that you want to be in this frickin' world, no matter what. And yeah, I'm fucking swearing, okay? Get over it. This round, okay? Like Amanda says, naughty Norm this week, alright? I came out of the gate this week and I've been a little rowdy. But I like being a little rowdy. And sometimes that's me. So, just know, I love all of y'all. And I'm watching you all go through this month, and it is hard for some of you. And next month, bikini ads are coming out, and they're going to hit your brain fucking hard. Now, advertisement doesn't give a shit about you, okay? I will be honest. Entrepreneurship is what our world was built on in the Commonwealth countries, and entrepreneurship does not give a shit about how it affects your brain to get you to buy. That's it. That is your responsibility. And that is the responsibility of the parent to teach the child, okay? But advertisement for the last 50 years has had the bell at the end of the conversation to get you to go, oh, what was that noise? Jingles, studied forever and ever and ever, how to get you to buy. And now that internet's come up, the coolest thing has ever fucking happened. Now you could be the face of my product. Oh, people are my age, people and older are like, oh my God, I could be a social freaking influencer? Oh, like Will Smith? You see the addiction there, right? You see how they're playing you. They lost their ability to sell their products. And now they're abusing you like they've been for 60 years. Only you're opening your door to be abused. Now, they got great information for you if you are open to listen to it. But the moment you become their product, you become a fucking product. You lose your identity behind that product. You become the it works or whatever gosh darn scheme is going on. And maybe it worked for somebody, but let me tell you this. In my brain, I have never seen a person come out of that wasn't even worse off than when they started. All right? Remember, not one of those products sells that it will change you. They sell on you can help others. Now that is playing on your deepest humanities. All right? That is fucking wrong. Okay. Now, we're going to get out of that because that's how people fuck with your brain. Using words, the proper lingo. Why be you when you could be me? Remember, you tell yourself the story that you have to live with. Plain and simple. No ifs, ands, or fucking buts about that. You live in your head. Somebody could say crap to you, but you are the one that repeats that over and over and over in your head until it becomes the synapses or the reason why you will not make the new you happen. All right? Now, you always be you. There is no such thing as a new fucking you. Okay? But you can add the skills and tools to make your life happier from this moment on. There's books. There's this magic box that I'm talking on. Right? There's all sorts of things that you can do. So I just had to push up. I got 20% on my battery. So I'm hoping that y'all enjoy this and that y'all take it seriously, and you can Google anything that I said on here and find the exact facts, all right? You can reprogram your synapses. Those synapses, once again, I'm going to recap here. Those synapses that you yourself can reprogram as an adult were your parents' responsibility as a child to help you become an empath. Now, if something bad happened during that process, that can affect the synapses that you have in your brain, and now you are a narcissist or one of the major other freaking things. But remember, all those people need to exist. Now, the people that are empaths today that are complaining about narcissists were never ever taught the coping mechanisms to deal with narcissists because nobody ever understood that this behavior would arise in our society. But they were children and they deserve to be here just like the empath. The difference is this happened in an addictive way. And none of us were taught the coping mechanisms to deal with it. That's just it. Now my father was a drug addict. So my whole life I've studied this addiction thing. And the more and more and more I get into addiction, the more and more I realize it has nothing to do about the fucking drug. My dad could do any drug under the sun. It didn't bother him. He had an addiction to power. That's what it was. The cocaine made him feel like he was fucking King Kuba. Right? I don't have an addiction to power. All right? I have an overcompensating personality to be good. Now that can be harmful, and it might not be harmful. But when it becomes non-harmful is when you start talking about it, when you're okay with it, when you know it's there, so that you don't allow it to control your choices. Because an addictive personality will control your choices. That ego brain that says, what about me? That selfish part of you that craves that dopamine kick. Get me? So, deal with the fact that you have a craving for that acceptance, that dopamine, that kick. Now, that comes from acceptance. That comes from all sorts of different things, all right? Hate. Imagine that. Hate can give you a kick of dopamine. Right? Those feelings. Now, there's only 5. All the rest of them that mix into those 5 categories are all just offshoots to go, oh, no, I didn't hate. I was just, angry. You hear my words? Reprogramming my brain to allow me to hate? That's how it works. And the more you study the wording that you use, the more you hear your friends around you saying the things that your brain can't take, that your brain shouldn't listen to, until the point that happens where you can hear them, where they don't affect you. That's what accepting people for who they are, not for who you want them to be. Take transgender. The other day I said he instead of she. They got offended. I sat there to myself and I thought, now, I didn't mean no offense. And you should be confident in yourself to be able to accept what anybody says around you, to be able to live your life. But once again, we're reaching a stage where new people are arising, what we call an aversion until it becomes the average, where they weren't taught the coping mechanisms to deal with these choices that they're making now. And they are absolutely empowered to make those choices. Legal to make those choices, and I stand up for those choices. But None of that existed last generation. So these new aversions are having it hard because they weren't taught the coping mechanisms to deal with the choices that they're making. It's that simple. It's not your fault you're being attacked because you offended somebody. You get me? It's our brain kicking in going, no, 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 no. Antivirus. Cognitive dissonance. Proper term for your brain's antivirus. Even when you bring the exact facts of telling somebody why they're depressed, their brain kicks it all out and says, no, 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 because they want to fucking be depressed. They enjoy how they receive this attention during that time. Okay? And something goddamn drastic has to happen for them to fucking want to change that. Unless they actually understand what's happening, look their children in the eyes and say, I don't want to pass this on. And start working at it. You know? Now, changing your wording could be simple. Sharing positive memes every fucking day. One. Start. Share one positive meme a day. Until you start seeing that some of these positive memes are actually built. Okay? Why would you want to be average when you could be the best? That's a statement. That's actually a negative statement in a term to get you to be positive. Feeding off your addiction to negativity to get you to join a motivational course. Think about that. They're not healing you. Those ads are selling in a means to capture your fucking addiction. The whole entire calendar is built around this. I've tried doing that, sharing the positives. It's good, Sarah Newton, honestly. And the main reason it's good is because next year when Facebook pops up, these networking things are great. Next year when Facebook starts popping up your memories, okay, I've been doing it 10 years. You should see my memories. I never have bad memories, all right? You know, even my past relationships, I never deleted them because they were good memories. And I've learned to look at those as good memories. It was a chapter in my life, and those people needed to be in my life for me to understand what I'm understanding today. Do you understand? I hope you do. Your ex needed to be there. That's it. Your addiction drew you to that person, whether you realize it or not. Something in you brought you to that person. Okay? All right. The new you is about to start. And you're going to work hard at it. And if you need any help, us admin are here. Now remember, it's help. Nobody can change you. And only you can tell yourself the story that you have to live by. Okay? Remember that. Only you can fucking tell you the story that you're going to listen to. I can tell you, you can do it. But it's up for you to keep telling yourself in your head, I can do it. Or else you'll only feel that way when you're around me. Like every other motivational speaker out there where they get you hooked on a feeling. I'm going to be freaking honest with you. Okay? I don't want to be your crutch. I just want a world where my kids can grow up and meet your kids and have the ability to maybe find love. You know, in a relationship that doesn't take all the goddamn work in the world because we're all fucked up. Get me? That's why I do it. All right? That's why I started Norm Average. Make a better world for my kids. That's why I'm talking to you right now. I do, yeah, exactly. I don't delete my memories. They are there for a reason. That's right, Sarah. But the more positive memories you have, the better outcome you're going to have in the future. So make sure that you are cognitive of your cyber breadcrumbs. Okay? Put out a positive cyber. Because the more positive your cyber becomes, the better feedback your cyber gives you. Do you understand that? That algorithm Facebook built shows you the ads that you're interested in. So when you're talking shit on your Facebook, Facebook feeds you shit. That's the way the algorithm works. That's entrepreneurship. It gives you what you're looking for so that the product can make money. So the more shit you talk about on your Facebook page, the more shit Facebook's going to feed you. It's that simple. That's the way the algorithm works. Okay? So post positive, you get positive. You get positive ads, you get positive all of that. Post negative, you're going to get negative. Just like life. No different. Okay. Sorry to bore the crap out of you with my nerdy moment, but I'm going to have lots of more nerdy moments in the future. Throw my glasses back on here because I didn't want the glare happening. This is the true me. All right. Keep strong. Remember, we're all little fingers on a hand, okay? And remember, okay? You don't see the things the way they are. You see things the way you are. Do you understand that? If you think this world is negative, it's because you are being negative. That's right, Denise, law of attraction. Right? This isn't new shit I'm talking about. This has been written since the time of fucking Christ and before. All right? You want a really cool book? It's called The Hero's Journey. It was written in the 70s. It's about how every story is written with the exact same frickin' theme, the exact same all of it. All right? The hero is born, the hero leaves home, the hero comes across great atrocities, the hero comes back, tells his friends and family, the hero lives happily ever after. All right? Every book, everything, they're all written with the same freaking goddamn circle theme. It's called The Hero's Journey, and you could read all about it in a book. That same person then, after he realized that all the stories were the same, went and wrote a book called Follow Your Bliss. And I'm not going to say that was one of the first motivational out there. I don't want to say that at all, but it was one of the first hit books that really, and only because he put out The Hero's Journey first, which opened up Follow Your Bliss, okay? Of why the secret, yeah. Or actually Denise, and who else was just talking to me there? Actually, I really want to talk about something since you guys hit that situation here. So, here, let me see. Law of attraction. How to succeed? No. The law of success. Oh, there's a book for you. There's a book that I'm going to tell you something about that book, The Law of Success. I want you to read this book. Hey, Sophie. Now, I don't want you to read this book because this book is going to actually change your life. This book was actually built like a riddle. And the book itself isn't the answer, but how they sold the book. It is the coolest advertisement thing that anybody had ever done before anybody had ever done it. Now, if you read the book, it hints to all of the stuff that they're going to do to advertise the book afterwards. And it's a 100-year book. This guy went around and interviewed all these millionaires and billionaires around the world and wrote a book called The Law of Success. I forget the man who hired the guy. He actually paid this guy to go around and interview all these people so that he could get this book written. It's called The Law of Success. But the moment the book was put, I'm not actually going to tell you the answer. That's wrong. But it has to do with advertisement. It has to do with everything I just talked about. And the law of success is actually how they put the book out to the public rather than what's in the actual book. Okay? And if you get it, I would love you to message me and talk to me about it. You can PM me anytime. Any of you can PM me anytime about anything. If you're in a bad mood, good mood. I like good moods. But if you're in a bad mood, I'm here too. All right? No, whatever it is, from parenting, from positivity, from love, to, how's the weather? I'm on a different time period, which means when you are at night and can't sleep, I'm eating lunch. Actually, dinner we call it here, which is supper. It's cool. But keep strong and program that. Make the new you happen. Make this year be that year where you decide to make the biggest fucking difference in your life, not only for you, but for your kids, so that they don't take that circle of anxiety, that circle of addiction, that circle of feeling. Get me? So that they can move past this and become stronger adults. Okay? So, keep strong. Good luck on the new you. And if you need anything, us admin are here. We love you. Always. Never, ever fucking forget that. Even if you throw a little stompy fit, you're always welcome back eventually, all right? I'm telling you that right now. Affirmation in the morning and visualization. Actually, Denise, I want to tell you something. During the 70s, when Saturday Night Live first came out, okay, we were at this moment of affirmation in the morning. And this guy had came out with this thing where every morning you wake up and you tell yourself in the mirror, I am special. I am good. But then comedy hit. And Saturday Night Live, a bunch of cast all coked out, nothing hiding here, okay, addictive behavior, started making fun of self-affirmation, which made it not cool, okay? This is early 90s, late 80s. Okay, Saturday Night Live hit. The same TV show, okay, when Trump became president, nobody likes that word, but nobody should ever make a comedy skit about a 10-year-old boy, all right? Nobody should have made fun of the president's son. And that's not my country, but that is a clear sign of an addicted society that has stopped caring about the next generation. When you can go on a Saturday Night Live and they're making fun of a fucking child, okay? That is an addictive behavior to help you keep your addictive behaviors in check, okay? Addiction affects us all, from gambling to feelings to drugs, but in the end, it's all the kick you get from dopamine, from the behavior that you are going towards. And that behavior can be installed at any point in life, okay? So, good luck on the new you. Keep strong. I love you all.